Do you have good credit? Are you good with your money? Well, did you know that you could pay off your mortgage in less than 10 years without changing a dime of your spending habits? Well, Shane O'Grady, he is the founder of Life Changer Loan Corp, along with his client. This is Alex Morris. Great to have both of you with us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right, I want to start with the nitty-gritty, Shane. So what's the problem with a 30-year fixed rate loan?
So I believe the 30-year fix is actually one of the greatest wealth killers that we've ever seen. You know, as your mortgage statement, we rarely ever look at it because that balance never changes. In fact, you don't pay more principal than interest in a single year until the 22nd year.
Wow.
And Susan, if that wasn't the bad news, it gets worse because most of us actually hit reset every 5 to 7 years. So we're not really making any progress on this debt. And Americans actually commit more of their income towards paying off their mortgage debt than they actually do their retirement.
Right, and you said it's that frustration. You know, you're looking at the bill and each month you're like, gosh, we're still here.
Right.
So you have come up with a way, a very unique way. It's a new financing way to do this. And what you do, it allows homeowners, you say, to pay down their mortgage in 10 years or less.
Yeah, so what this really requires is for us to think about our money and our mortgage differently, right? So what if you looked at how much you deposited on a monthly basis and then even on an annual basis? And what if all of that money went directly towards the principal balance on your loan, but you always had access to the money? So as long as you were depositing more than you were spending, you'd pay off very quickly. Your interest costs would get less each and every month.
So instead of thinking about maybe the payment, the mortgage payment, you're thinking about depositing.
You're thinking about your deposit power. So instead of, as Ben Stein would call, your lazy money, sitting in your checking and savings accounts, earning you essentially zero, now we can have all of our deposit power working on our mortgage, saving us interest every day that it's there.
All right, so this product was good for you, Alex. You're one of those folks we talked about. You knew how to save your money and you wanted to get out of this mortgage once and for all. How did this product work for you and how did it change your life?
Yeah, it's been wonderful. I've had versions of this since 2008, but just to give you a recent example, I had a $250,000 mortgage home that I was able to pay off in about 2.5 years.
Okay.
And that's not even the best part. I had access to that money the entire time. So as I'm paying that down, my wife and I decided to do a pretty good size addition to our house, which we were able to fund through that loan. I've since paid that off as well. And now I've just recently bought a new house using that money again as the down payment. And I'm on schedule to pay it off again.
Did you and your wife change your spending habits? Did you stop going out to dinner as much?
Well, you know, there's a consequence to this. Is when you start doing this loan, you become very cognizant of your spending habits. And so instead of taking my wife out in the beginning of the month, and I take her out at the end of the month, that $20 that I would have spent, now maybe a little bit more, $200 or something, would stay in my account, keeping my balance lower, which would make my interest rate smaller. So every month with this loan, my interest rate goes down at the end of the month.
And you said it's not magic, Shane. It's simply math.
Simply math. So what we need to think about is not about payment, because when we talk about these, our average client does pay off their home in less than 5 years. But out there in the public, they think, well, how is that possible? You know, my payment right now is pretty steep. I couldn't imagine how I could do it. You can do it because of your income. So if you imagine your deposit power working towards all of your debt, well, as long as you're good with your money, it can pay off very quickly.
It can pay off quickly and you can still live the way you live. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. Good luck to you. It sounds like you've got some money in the bank now. Thank you so much. Let's give you some information. Maybe this is you and you want to get out of that. To learn more about this program, you can contact Life Changer Loan Corp at 480-504-0844. You can also visit the website lifechangerloan.com. You can also follow them on Facebook.